Well, you know, you can just show me, because we're going to your place, right?
Well, you should at least decide what
Oh,
we're doing.
Let's go see.
All right.
Yeah.
So here we are at 75 Grand Enterprises.
Uh-huh.
As we said, we'd be back at 3 o'clock.
And should we tell people who you are, in case they don't know?
My name is Jan Galligan, and I'm here representing both myself and my wife, Lillian Mulero, the artist. And together we are 75 Grand Enterprises.
75 Grand Enterprises is under the Albany Center Galleries at 39 Columbia Street in Albany, New York. And I'm Alexis Bhagat, the director of Grand Street Community Arts, which is
Located
68
where?
Grand Street, across the street from 75 Grand.
And are you not operating under the rubric of 99
Yeah,
grand?
and I personally am 99 Grand.
Right,
Yes.
all right. So we got this, right?
So let's go see, Jim. How's your show? This
Well,
is amazing.
So starting out, what we do, we always welcome each visitor coming in and ask them to play the 3-cone Monte game.
Okay.
And in doing
Are you
so,
gonna switch
what you
them
need to
around?
do, we don't need to.
Oh.
It's already preset.
Okay.
So you just have to pick a cone. If you pick a cone that has a ball, then you win a free piece of art.
Well, I want red. I got a
And
ball.
you win, all right.
All right, what I win?
Well, your choice.
Okay. Great.
But let me show you.
Yeah.
Should you have picked silver or white? Everyone's a winner.
Everyone's
today.
a winner. Excellent.
All right. So maybe, Lex, why don't you explain why? Do you know why we're here in this space?
In this space under Albany Center Galleries?
Yeah.
I don't know exactly.
Well, all right.
Why are we here?
So the fundamental idea is that, as Lillian always tells me, I should tell the last thing first.
Okay.
So the last thing first for the whole story is that we are moving permanently to Puerto Rico from Albany after almost 40 years of being here. And we're out of the building we were living in, which is 75 Grand. We had to have some place to bring the 40 years worth of archive, her work for 40 years, my work, a project that I did starting in the 70s called the Wisconsin Video Theater, and all the work of all the other artists that we've collected over that time. So it was really ideal for me when Tony of the Albany Center Gallery showed me this space, because we have a long hallway, and then what I saw immediately was that there are 8 rooms here, which then allowed me to take the archive and discreetly sort the archive into 6 categories. So we have a room here for Lillian's work. We have a second room over here for my work. I have a third room which I'm using as a photo studio. Over here, I've set up the main office for our enterprise. And then this was, until this morning, the Wisconsin Video Theater room. And essentially what happened was there's a wonderful organization located in New Lebanon, run by Paul Dejean, who's an artist and a musician.
Yeah.
And he has a major video enterprise and a major video archive.
Okay.
So what he's doing is bringing the entirety of the Wisconsin
Great.
Video Theater into his archive.
Excellent.
And that was
Does
good.
he have is it a personal project of his, or is there a nonprofit around that?
No, it's not a formal organization in that sense. So he calls it the Mall of Sound,
Okay.
and he calls it that because he's located in a shopping mall
Okay.
there in
Where there used to be a
New
record store
Lebanon.
called Wall of Sound, perhaps.
Really?
There's a chain of record stores,
Yeah.
right?
So it's really beautiful. He's got like a 6,000 video collection,
Okay.
VHS,
And he
and
got
all the
those
other
3
formats.
Trinitrons from Ogilvy?
Yes,
All right.
everything.
Okay.
So it's
Great.
all there. Michael Oatman came today and picked all that up.
Okay, excellent.
Oatman, who now lives in Oatville or Oatlandia in Troy. So anyhow, that was that. We set up another room over here, which I dubbed the 75 Grand Publishing, fundamentally because in this room is everything on paper. Some of it is printed books and materials, a lot of it are posters and that sort of thing. Having done all that, I had room for 2 more things. So this room is really kind of the archive and ephemera room. So a lot of the ephemera was turned over to an ephemera dealer, and I did that just the other day. And then as well, yesterday, the Tang Museum picked up a substantial amount of work, so I still have a few things to send to them. For instance, they got the full collection of books and things that I had made by Robert Cumming, who was one of the artists that I first got involved with back in the 70s doing mail art. So this is from the Leo Castelli Gallery, and from 1988, and it was a custom-made yardstick for that exhibition, which I have to get yet to the Tang Museum.
Is Ryder Cooley with that?
It is.
Who's she playing? Who's the bass player?
Oh, I forget that guy's name. He was a really wonderful young guy. He worked with her when they worked on that project that Swoon did on the Hudson River.
Oh,
That's when I first met them.
the Swimming Cities. This was in insurances.
Well, that's to ensure that we have something good. And here is actually a letter from a good friend that we met in Paris in 1996 with a photo of my wife in Paris during that trip.
And did you say that you found a picture of me in 1999 in front of St. Anthony's?
I did, but I thought maybe I had given you that already.
No.
We're not going to put our finger on it at the moment
Okay.
unless you're like
No,
super
no,
lucky.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
And anything special in this room before we walk around?
Right at the moment, I don't know, Lex.
Okay.
Let's go over and we'll look at the
And we
galleries.
have one more room, right?
So now what we have left are the two gallery spaces.
Okay.
But let me start by saying, since today is March 1st,
Yeah.
Lillian is still in San Juan, and today is doing a
Let's make
project
sure
that
that-
she's been working on for almost a month. And if you look at the book that's here,
Okay.
so this book is called Talking Visions. It's a survey of feminist art. And, excuse me, part of her entry in the book shows a picture of a piece that she did at the New York State Museum, and it was done in 1994. The work was called Dolores, but it's about a woman whose name is Lolita Lebron. She's a Puerto Rican nationalist, and she and three men in 1954 on March 1st went from New York City to Washington, D.C. They went into the House of Representatives. They had guns with them. They drew out their guns, and they actually shot their guns there at the ceiling, but their bullets ricocheted down. And as a result, the four of them spent each over 30 years in prison, although they were all ultimately pardoned. Lolita Lebron in particular by Jimmy Carter. So for another exhibition that Lillian did at the Jersey City Museum in New Jersey, which was called The Body and Soul of Lolita Lebron, she actually made the suit that Lolita Lebron wore on that day.
And is this is the day
You
of
can sort of see it in the picture here, but you know, I have some better pictures that we could supplement it with at some other time.
Okay.
In any case, we took that suit with us when we moved down to the island. And about a month ago, she got it out and tried it on, and it still fit her. So what she decided to do was to stage both a demonstration and a march in San Juan today that started at 2, so it actually should be just about over by this point. And she was going to march from the old part of the city down the street, having invited poets, writers, dancers, visual artists, I mean the whole world of the creative arts there to join her in the march. And they're marching to the state well, it's not a state, but the Capitol building of Puerto Rico.
territorial capital.
I mean, it's the reason that she's doing this really involves exactly that. So the political relationship of Puerto Rico to the United States is very ill-defined at the moment. And as well, they're undergoing some serious economic problems, financial problems. So her demonstration is really intended to draw attention to that, not necessarily offer a solution, not even necessarily offer a critique, but just to say, here it is, and that in some ways not a whole lot has changed since 1954.
Mm-hmm.
So I do know that she intended to do at the Capitol building a very short performance, and then that would end what she was doing.
Okay.
I also know as part of her performance, she had printed out a very large stack of the preamble to the Puerto Rican Constitution that was written in 1952.
Is that Lillian?
Could be mine. It
This
is.
is Lillian. We should say
Actually,
hello.
this is Lillian. Are you on the phone? Hello? Yes, Lillian. So right at the moment, we're on TV. So your timing is perfect.
Should we put it on speaker and find out how the march went?
I'm here with Lex, and Lex and I are on TV. And just at this moment, we were talking about you and what you were just doing. So, yeah. Well, that's all right. Everything went really well. Yeah, it was a small crowd. Okay. Yeah. That's all right. It sounds wonderful. Exactly. Good. All right, so we'll talk about it later. All right, goodbye, Lo.